Hey everyone, Michael Coovadia here, and in today's video I want to be speaking to you about fear, the dream killer. Something that holds so many individuals back, whether it be business or in your personal life. Fear is the one thing that stops most people from achieving their dreams and from truly unlocking their true potential and getting to that desired outcome that you truly deserve to be at. You can work your entire life, but if you work and you have fear at the back of your mind, you'll never achieve as much as you could have. So, before we get started with the video, I have a short clip for you that I know you'll enjoy, and then we're going to get straight into it.
Skydiving is a really interesting confront with fear. I gotta stand up. I gotta stand up. You go out the night before and you take a drink with your friends and somebody says, yeah, we should go skydiving tomorrow. And you go, yeah, we'll go skydiving tomorrow. Yeah. And you go, yeah. And everybody goes, yeah. And you go home by yourself, you're like, Right? You're like, well, yeah, I mean, they was drunk too. So then that night you're laying in your bed and you just keep, and you're terrified. You keep imagining over and over again jumping out of an airplane and you can't figure out why you would do that. So you get there and then you have this safety brief and you're standing there and the guys will tell you, well, if the chute doesn't open, what's going to happen is well, why the hell, what could happen? So you get onto the airplane and you're sitting there and you know, it's extra because you're sitting on some dude's lap, some stranger, trying to make small talk. Yeah, man. So you be jumping with people all the time, huh? So you fly and you go up to 14,000 feet and somebody opens the door. And in that moment, you realize you've never been in a freaking airplane with the door open. Terror, 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 terror. And then people start going out of the airplane. And the guy walks you up to the end of the thing, and you're standing and your toes are on the edge, and you're looking out down to death. They say, on three. 1. And he pushes you on 2 because people grab on 3. And you fall out of the airplane. And in 1 second, you realize that it's the most blissful experience of your life. You're flying. 0 fear. You realize at the point of maximum danger is the point of minimum fear. The lesson for me was, why were you scared in your bed the night before? What do you need that fear for? Everything up to the stepping out, there's actually no reason to be scared. And then in that moment, all of a sudden, where you should be terrified is the most blissful experience of your life. And God placed the best things in life on the other side of fear.
Now, you know, the crazy thing about fear is that we are not born fearful. Fear is something that we learn over time. As we grow up and we experience life, we learn fear. Think about a baby, right? And as a baby explores, a baby has no fear at all. I recently found a dog on the side of the road and I decided to adopt it on my travels and give it a home temporarily until I can get a new home for him, right? And this puppy just taught me something, and this is why I decided to make this video today, because I realized that so many fitness professionals let fear hold them back from truly achieving their dreams, truly achieving a business that brings in an income that you are proud of, that really serves the clients that you want to work with, and that really helps you move from where you currently are to an online presence and serve thousands of people around the world. Now back to the story about the dog. right? This little puppy explored everything. He eats everything, he puts everything out, everything into his mouth, just like a young kid would. A young kid goes out into the world, explores without any fear at all. And as we experience, right, we get these feedback loops and these receptors in the brain. So for example, if I touch a hot stove, right, or if the dog bites something and it doesn't enjoy the taste of it, then it realizes this by a feedback loop that moves from the action to a experience, and whether or not it likes it or not, this is where it starts to learn that this is good or this is bad. Now, coming back to a kid, if a kid touches a hot stove and gets burnt, the feedback loop sends a experience to the brain, right? And now the brain makes the child aware that should you touch this, you are going to get burnt. And feedback loops are important for us to learn, but they also bring us, depending on how we experience the outcome and what message the brain signals, we learn fear, right? So this is where people become fearful. This is where people go to university or get a degree and then they told, get a great job, get a job that you can fall back on, because the entire community and the society are putting fear in people. They need something to fall back on, and they need a job that's going to give them security and money instead of a job that they are passionate about, a job that they want to do. So we learn fear. You see, we are not born with fear. We are born as brave individuals. But as we experience life and the feedback loops that we get as we doing these experiences, or as we having these thoughts, as we experiencing life on a daily basis, we learn how to fear. Now, the biggest problem with fear is that it stops you from achieving the business that you want to have, right? At the end of the day, on one of my calls that I had with a personal trainer, he told me that the reason he didn't move his business online was because he was afraid. And when I asked what was he afraid of, it felt like he was in his comfort zone. And at the end of the day, he just wanted certainty. He wanted certainty that if he moved away from the gym and he took his business online, he would still have clients. Because coming through to the gym, you know, people are coming through, he's getting traffic, even though he's not making the income that he wants to make, and even though his business isn't doing as well as it should be doing, he still stays in that specific spot because of the certainty that he lacks for taking his business online. And this is one of the biggest problems with fear, right? Because of certainty, people go to this place called someday. Someday I'll learn how to take my business online. Someday I'll take that business course that's going to teach me how to market myself more effectively. Someday I'll take that accounting course that's going to teach me how to manage my finances, reinvest it into my business, and help me move my business forward. So you see, when we go to a place called someday, it never actually happens. Think about the person or one of your clients at the end of the day, right? If you've ever worked with an overweight individual. If they continuously keep saying, someday I'll eat healthy, someday I'll come through to the gym, someday I'll get on the treadmill, do you think they're ever going to lose weight and get in shape and take care of their life, right? It's not going to happen at all. But if you take that same individual and there's no certainty at all, there's no guarantee that doing this is going to bring them any result, but they do it anyway with the faith, blind faith that it is going to work. At the end of the day, by following a specific plan or blueprint, it is going to give them the result as long as they work hard. Now they don't value certainty, they value hard work. They know that if they put in the work, they take the knowledge in order to get them the results that they want, they're going to get to that end result, right? But the problem is, when it comes to business, most fitness coaches want the certainty. If I take my business online, I want the certainty that I'm not going to lose money. I want the certainty that I am going to get clients. I want the certainty that people are going to take me up on my services. But that just doesn't happen at all. So instead, right, of learning the skills and the knowledge needed in order to move yourself forward, you go to this place called someday. Someday I'll learn how to take my business online. As mentioned, someday I'll take that marketing course or whatever it might be. The problem is someday never comes. And the problem with certainty is if you put certainty at the top of your list, you can never build a successful business with that. Because in business, it's about taking calculated risks. It's about having blind faith and knowing that you're going to do an effort over a given period of time. And it might bring a result, or it might not bring a result. But at the end of the day, that's not going to deviate you from trying. It's not going to push you into a negative feedback loop and keep you in your comfort zone. Instead, it's going to have you going out into the world just like a little kid or the puppy that I mentioned, right? And you're going to explore, you're going to learn, and then you're going to take what you've learned, you're going to implement it, and if it works, you keep moving forward. If it doesn't, you find a new way to move forward and a new way to be successful, right? That's all that life is. It's about solving problems in order to get to the next step and the next step and the next step. Now, the second biggest problem with fear, right? Where does fear stem from? Fear stems from a lack of knowledge. The biggest reason we see most fitness professionals, most fitness coaches, most personal trainers, or you watching this right now, the biggest reason that you don't take your business online or that you're not making the income that you want to make is because of the lack of knowledge. And because you lack knowledge, that is why you fear the outcome, right? Because you're too focused on what you don't know instead of focusing on what you can learn in order to help you move your business forward. Because at the end of the day, life and business are one. I don't see it as two individual things. I see it as one thing that I work on to get from where I currently am to where I want to be. Now, fear from life is definitely going to go into your business as well. If you lack in life, you're going to lack in the business as well. Therefore, when we see it as one and we work on it as a unique piece of art, right, we can create a true masterpiece. But the only way you are going to be able to do that is by equipping yourself with the correct knowledge in order to get from point A to point B. And in your case, where is point A and where is point B? Now, it's no surprise, right? The coronavirus has hit, people have lost their jobs, the economies might have tanked, but at the end of the day, people still want your valuable service. The problem is you just don't know how to deliver it to the place where people are. Think about it. Nobody's going through to physical places any longer. People are on their mobile devices or on their computers or MacBooks or whatever they use, just like you watching this video right now, right? So in order for you to be effective, you need to be able to put your message where the individual is. Not where you are, but where the individual is. And how exactly do you do that? Right? You learn the knowledge in order to be able to market yourself, because without knowledge, you cannot gain experience. Knowledge is the precursor of experience, which means knowledge must come first before you try something, and then as you try, you iterate and you move forward, right? That is the only way to be truly successful. But when you don't have knowledge, you're going to be fearful because you're always going to worry about what if. What if this happens? What if it doesn't work out this way? What if I don't make any money? And the only way to shut that feeling off, right, or to shut that thought off, is to equip yourself with the latest knowledge from a trustworthy source that you know is going to get you from point A through to point B. And if you have the correct amount of knowledge, you can really crush fear, you can move away from someday, and you can actually break out of your comfort zone and build your business exactly how you want it to be, make the income that you want to earn, and have as many clients as you desire. But the only way for you to be able to do that is to learn a new skill. You have to focus on learning. Which brings me to point 3, right? Fear keeps most people in their comfort zone. Just think of a bad relationship. You have this relationship, you're continuously fighting with each other, and you never break it off, right? We see people like this all the time. I'm sure you know someone like this. They've probably been married for 20 or 30 years, but they are not happy at all. And when you ask them, why don't they break it off? Why don't they free themselves from that relationship? It's because they're fearful. Fearful of whether or not they'll find somebody else. Fearful of whether or not they'll be able to make it by themselves. And fearful of how life would be without that partner that they know for 20 or 30 years, even though that partner is causing pain to them, right? Again, it's because of that certainty. They want certainty like a safety net, that if I break off this bad relationship, I'm going to find something new. If I break off this bad relationship, I'm going to be in a better place. But you can't put certainty first. You have to put yourself and your needs first, and then you can move yourself forward. You have to have faith. Blind faith, no matter what the outcome is, I'm going to give it my all in order to be able to move forward. But you cannot forget point 2, right? Knowledge. You need the knowledge in order to be able to make an informative decision on where you take your life and your business. Now, The problems that we see with fear, right, obviously have solutions because every problem at the end of the day has a solution. So what are the solutions? Now, the first and most effective thing you can do to overcome fear is to have a definite plan. Because without a definite plan, you are just drifting around, moving from one place to the next, not knowing where you're going. Imagine getting into a car and driving, right? Just driving, having no destination at all, just driving from one point to the next, to the next, to the next. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's going to be a waste of time and it's going to tire you out. You're not going to have any motivation to get to that destination, right? But imagine getting in your car, plugging in your GPS an exact destination of where you want to be, taking that car and driving it. You have that motivation and excitement in order to be able to get there. Forget about everything else on this list. If you just have a definite plan, you're already 50% of the way. The biggest thing is most people fail to plan. And if you fail to plan, you're actually planning to fail. Now, what is a definite plan? Know exactly what it is you want from your life and your business, right? If you want a more successful business, put that down as a definite plan. How successful do you want to be? Don't just say, I want to make money. Say exactly how much money you want to make, how many clients you want to have, how many gyms you want to be working in, or how many online businesses you want to have, right? From a very young age, I knew that I wanted to be in the fitness industry. I didn't know how I would get into the industry. I didn't know how I would build 2 global fitness businesses, but I knew that I wanted to be in the fitness industry and I wanted to help individuals in the fitness industry to get in great shape. From there, everything else flowed like a river. One thing led to the next, and now we don't just help consumers get in great shape, we help fitness coaches around the entire world, fitness professionals like yourself, build, grow, market, and scale highly profitable fitness businesses. But it all had to start with a definite plan. Because at the end of the day, if you can set a definite plan for yourself, no matter what happens, there's no such thing as motivation. Motivation is going to be there some days and it's going to fall away on other days. The only way you can stay true to yourself is by following a definite plan. And how exactly do you follow a definite plan? Because on a daily basis, when you look at that plan, no matter whether you're motivated or not, all you're going to do is say, this is my plan, this is what I need to do to achieve that plan, and now I'm going to do it. So you set new standards for yourself, you hold yourself accountable, and you're disciplined enough to follow that plan to a T. You set a plan, a top level plan, and then you set the substructures underneath, right? So what it would look like is something like this. Here's the definite plan, right? And then here's the substructures that you need to be following in order to get to the goal. Just think about it like the GPS I just mentioned. So if you plug in a destination on Google Maps, it's going to take you to your destination, but you're going to have lefts and you're going to have rights and you're going to need to go uphill and downhill, and you're going to need to go through many different paths in order to get to your goal. And those are the substructures, right? You're going to have these little maneuvers along the way, taking different directions, but every single thing at the end of the day leads to the main plan. So everything goes in an upward direction and gets you to where you want to be. But if you fail to have a definite plan, that's where you're going to lack, or you're going to want certainty, and you're going to move to that place called someday. When you have a definite plan, every single day is the perfect day to move your business forward. Every single day is a day for you to learn something new. And every single day is a day for you to experiment and move yourself forward, move your business forward, and learn new things in order to be able to move from where you currently are to where you want to be. Which brings me to my next point in the solutions, which is learn daily. You cannot build a successful fitness business without learning. It's just completely impossible. There's no way that I would have been able to build these businesses as I did without learning on a daily basis. Every single day, without fail, I dedicate an hour of my day to learn something new. Be it from a book, be it from watching a video just like this as you're learning at this moment in time, or whatever it might be. Knowledge is the precursor to experience. Without knowledge, without learning, I would not be able to teach you what I'm teaching you today, right? And if you want to get your business online, if you want to market yourself more effectively, if you want to make more income, and if you want to serve serve more clients and solve more problems, you have to learn the knowledge in order to be able to do that. So many times people fail when it comes to the knowledge, because how do you expect to learn to do new things if you don't have the knowledge in order to be able to do it, right? You could go ahead and experiment like I have over the last 5 years, and along the way you learn, but you see it's still a continuous learning process. You're learning, you're iterating, you're taking notes down, you're seeing how you can make it better, and you move forward. But here's the cool thing about knowledge, right? Or learning. If you learn from books and you follow blueprints, or you invest in courses where other people have done what you want to do, just like the course that we currently teach individuals or fitness coaches how to build, grow, and scale their businesses, right? These courses have knowledge in them that can help you move from point A to point B faster than the speed of light, because often the individuals who build these courses, like myself, have gone through the journey. We've gone through that 5, 6, 7, or 10-year period of learning information in order to get to where we are at this very moment in time. And we've put all our knowledge into these courses, into these books, and we've put it out there for you. The most important thing you need to do is take the initiative and say that I'm going to invest in my education so that I can learn and move forward. Because at the end of the day, if you give a man a fish, you'll feed him for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, he'll be fed for life. And that's what you need to focus on. You need to focus on the bigger picture. Stop worrying about today, but worry about tomorrow. Worry about what's going to happen the next day, right? And don't go to that place called someday. The biggest thing you can do to move yourself from point A to point B is having a definite plan and then working up from it. And what supplements a definite plan? It's knowledge, right? When you have knowledge, or you learn on a daily basis, and you have the definite plan, you'll truly become unstoppable. Fear will not hold you back any longer at all, and you'll be able to take your business exactly where you want it to be. Which brings me to point number 3. Once you actually start learning on a daily basis, you're naturally going to be inclined to experiment, right? So if I read a book, and I read a book, for example, in marketing, and it tells me to try a few things, by not having this fear any longer and that certainty that I want something to work, now I have the definite plan. I know that I need to learn, and I know that it's going to take time for it to work, right? I'm going to go ahead and experiment. So what I read in that book, I want to try and put it out into the world to test it like a hypothesis. Does it work for me or does it not? I take those results, I iterate it. So iterating means I look at the results from the hypothesis. Does it move me closer to my goal or does it not? Think about the maps, for example, right? If you take a wrong turn, Google Maps will automatically reroute you back to the same place that you need to be going. Now, exactly the same thing with experimenting, right? If you miss a point, right, it's not the end of the world. All you need to do is iterate, move forward, and get back on track. Find the way that works for you and move forward. There's no secret. There's no golden playbook. Every blueprint is not going to give you the exact result that I got by following my Facebook ad strategy, for example, right? It's taking the knowledge that I teach you on how to build a system from the base, building it, iterating on it. The results that you get, you need to see whether it moves you closer to your goal or not, and then make that decision to iterate, move forward, or continuously do what it's doing if it's bringing the absolutely perfect results, which it will, because you have the definite plan and you have the great knowledge that's going to take you where you want to go, and then you just keep adding jet fuel to the fire and keep moving forward. Which brings me to point number 4. So once you have a definite plan, once you learn on a daily basis, and once you experiment, then you can turn your knowledge into wisdom. That is the only way you learn real wisdom, because knowledge and experiments coupled by time, right? So anything multiplied by time, when you take the knowledge that you've learned, the knowledge that you've learned from the books, and you take the experimentation that you've done on a daily basis because of the knowledge you've learned, and you put that multiplied by time, guess what you get? You get wisdom. Because when I started my business, when it was time for me to take it online, I knew nothing about how to advertise my business. I knew nothing about how to code or develop a website. I knew nothing about accounting or anything that you need in an online medium for business, right? but I was willing to learn. I had a definite plan and I had to experiment. I had to find the way that worked for me and then move forward from there. And now I have the wisdom. That is why I can teach other fitness professionals how to do exactly what it is that I did, take their businesses online and truly unleash, their full potential, both in their lives and their businesses. Because at the end of the day, you cannot gain wisdom without trying. And you cannot try without learning, because knowledge is the precursor to experience. Now, I have a book for every single one of you fitness professionals out there wanting to start your businesses, take it online, but you need that extra push. So, Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. This book is going to teach you, or not really teach you, but it's going to show you what it takes to truly start a real business. Because at the end of the day, so I'm just going to put this book right here, most people think this is what business is, right? They think it's just an uphill trajectory, just like that. There's just win after win after win after win. But in actual fact, business is like this. This is exactly what business looks like. It's starting, it's winning, it's losing, it's finding solutions, it's winning, it's losing, it's finding solutions, winning, losing. Business is not always about winning. It's about what do you do in these transition periods down here. How do you iterate? You see where I said we need to experiment and iterate? That's where iteration comes in. How do I take the results that I've received, use it in order to move forward instead of paralyzing me and stopping my progress dead on track? Because that's all that business truly is. Without failure, we cannot win at all. Michael Jordan said that he absolutely hates losing, but losing is part of the process. In order to win, you have to lose. Now, if fear has stopped you in the past, if fear has held you back from achieving what you want to achieve in your life and your business, then go ahead right now and write down a definite plan. What is it that you definitely want to achieve with your life and your business? Remember, business and life are one. So write it down as a collective goal, not as individual goals, right? What is it that you want to achieve, the destination? And then, even if at this point in time you don't know how to get there, you have the knowledge in order to be able to do that. You have books, you have videos like this, you have our course if you'd like, in order to be able to move you forward and get you to that desired goal at the end of the day. So if it's learning how to market yourself more effectively, if it's learning how to build your business online, if it's learning how to start an online business, whatever it might be, the knowledge is there. It's up to you in order to invest your time, invest whatever it takes into that knowledge in order to get you to that desired goal. Because at the end of the day, if you are not willing to fail, then you cannot win at all. Because that's exactly what business is. So, to end this video off, I definitely recommend you read this book called Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, right? It's the creator of Knight, and it will teach you exactly what it takes to be successful in business. Once you've read it, you could put in the comments what the biggest teachings that you learned from this book was, or from watching this video, right? You could actually put down what stops you, what problems are you facing right now in your business, and we'll be right here to answer you and give you the advice that you need, give you the knowledge, those golden nuggets in order to move your business forward. So, like, subscribe, and share this video if it has helped you, and I'll see you guys next week.